Welcome to Jeli's incident response training. I'm going to walk you through how to open an incident in Jeli and use our most commonly used commands. So when you're in Jeli, the major command that you need to know is /Jeli and the enter key. This opens up a few menu items here that you can see. We have got the import data option, open an incident, show all commands. If we click that show all commands option, we get all the commands that we can kick off with just a click of a button. So you don't have to memorize commands any longer. And I'm going to just delete that message here so it doesn't crowd our screen. But now I'm going to use the open incident button to open a Jeli incident. You can also use /Jeli open to open a Jeli incident. So I'm going to click open incident here, and this creates a modal. And in that modal, you have a few different options. So the first here is selecting an incident type. To identify what an incident type is a little bit more, it is a specific type of incident that you want to run. So for example, let's say you want to run a production incident or a launch incident for a new product launch or a security incident because you want certain people from that security team to be within the incident channel. You can use our incident types to do that, which then links over to our workflows, which helps with incident response automation. So now the next option here is to use the current channel for an incident. So let's say you don't want Jeli to open a separate incident channel. You can then use the bot to run an incident in the channel you're currently in. You can provide a name for your incident, which is optional. If not, Jeli will create a unique name. That's what I'm going to choose for right now. Then if we look at our integrations here, you can see that Jeli will automatically create a Zoom bridge for you or Google Meets if you use Google Meets over Zoom, and a Jira ticket. And the Jira ticket is related to your primary Jira project that you use. And these settings are set in the Jeli app, so you don't have to change them or update them every time you open an incident. So now if I go to add more details here, we're going to open a specific incident. So Jeli has a narrative builder where you can drag and drop Slack messages to create a timeline. We're going to pretend that that's broken. So we're getting lots of customer reports that the drag and drop narrative builder is not working and they're unable to create narratives. So because we kind of know what's going on, I'm going to make the stage identified and pick a low severity because it's maybe just impacting just a few customers. And the next part here is where I can pick broadcast channels. You can also select default broadcast channels in the Jeli web app, and you can select up to 5, depending on what tier of Jeli you're using. For now, I'm going to keep my broadcast channel as just one channel, my incident notifications channel, and I'm going to keep myself as incident commander. So I'm going to click done. I'm going to title my incident as well here, just because I kind of know what's going on. And then I also have the option to make the incident private. So I can use this to whip up a private incident channel, for example, for a security incident. But for now, I'm going to keep it as a public incident. So I'm going to click open incident, and Jeli is working here to create that. This is an example of a broadcast message that will display in a channel of your choosing. And this will update live as you work through the incident. Right now, there's not much information because we're going to populate that in our incident channel. So let's click on join incident channel here. And as you can see, my primary Jira ticket was spun up and a few other things. So if I look at the top here, there's a link to Jeli's incident view, which is sort of like an internal status page to see what's going on if you have a stakeholder who might not want to open Slack to get updates on your active incident. Here is the link to my Zoom bridge and any links to a Jira ticket or any other links that you might create throughout your incident will also be bookmarked up here. So if we run through our incident here, I'm going to show you a few ways to update a Jeli status. So if I use /Jeli status and write a status update right after that, that will then turn into a status update. That's our first way here. If I use /Jeli status, I can then type in a status update as well, and this will post as a status. And then an additional way that you can do this is if someone writes something within the incident channel that you find to be super helpful and would be a good status update, you can do that as well. So Maya here says that it looks like there's been a small but steady increase in narrative builder errors since that deploy this morning. So I want to make that a status update because I think that's really important. To do so, I can use one of these 3 emojis here to create that as a status update. And you can set these emojis as a default. You can pick one within your Slack settings. So I'm going to use the push pin here, and Jeli's IR bot then made that a status update. But let's say there's some chatter going on in a different channel that might be relevant to our active incident that I want to use as a status update. So if I come over to our engineering team channel here, you can see that there's some chatter going on here. So I want to set this message by Helen as an update. So I'm going to set incident status, and I can pick the current incident that I'm in here and update. And then Jeli will update the incident channel with that message. So let's go back into that here. And you can see that Jeli updated our incident status. That will also update live within your broadcast channel. So now let's update the severity of our incident using /Jeli sev, because now we have a bunch of status updates saying that things might require some assistance here because we are getting quite a few complaints. So we're going to need assistance from our analysis engineering team, and I'm going to write the reason for that severity change. Now, you will be able to update your broadcast channels anytime you change a stage or update a severity, but other than that, you won't be able to update those broadcast channels within a live active incident at this time. So let's set that severity here. After I've set my severity, you can see that Jeli has prompted me to set a stage of the incident as well. So let's do that. So I'm going to edit the stage to have the stage of investigating, just because we kind of are bringing in another team and want to see what's going on here. So let's update that stage as well. And maybe I want to create an update on my status page. So I can use /Jeli status page, and this will create an update on statuspage.io, one of our integrations. So if I click next, I can then go through that here and create a message that I would like to be customer facing, let's say. So I want to let our customers know that Narrative Builder's drag and drop feature is down, but we're on it. And we're currently investigating what's going on. So let's choose that it's a minor impact for right now and pick our affected components. We'll choose the API. And then if I scroll down, I have the option to pick whether I want to deliver notifications or not to that status page. So because this is my first message to the status page, I'm going to click yes, because I want that to be delivered. If I clicked no, then that message would not go to the status page and no customers would see that message. So you have control over what is shared to that status page. So let's click create here. So Jeli then creates that link. So let's see what that looks like. If we open the status page, you can see the stage and that summary that I wrote of what's going on, which is really great. If you run the status page command again, you'll see updates appear on that status page, again, if you choose to do so with that yes, no option. So now I want to page some other individuals to join me in this channel, just because I'm seeing some funky things going on. So if I use /Jeli page or /Jeli escalate, that will take me down the pathway to use PagerDuty here, and I can pick which service I'd like to choose. I'm going to choose Console is on fire for purposes of this demo, and I'm going to select a user that I want to page. Let's page Freddie Mercury. You can also add additional users if needed, but for now, I'm just going to page one and click page. And this will go down the PagerDuty pathway that you have set up within PagerDuty. So now that we've kind of gone through our entire incident a little bit, I want to remind myself to complete some tasks. So I'm going to use /Jeli remind, and I'm going to remind myself to follow up with the engineering team anytime there's a PR that's rolled out, just to make sure that it doesn't affect our drag and drop narrative builder. So I'm going to click add here. And oh, before I do that, you can also choose other people that you want to create a reminder for. But for now, I'm going to leave it as Maya and click add. So now you can see that a follow-up was created here. So one additional thing that I might want to do is add an additional Jira ticket. So let's use /Jeli Jira and create a new ticket. If I choose to create a new Jira issue, this will link within the Jeli IR bot to that primary ticket that we created at the start of the incident. If I choose link an existing Jira issue, this is capturing a link that is from Jira's website that you would then copy and paste into this modal. But for now, I'm going to use create a new Jira issue so that way we can create it here within our IR bot. So let's go ahead and add a title here. And I'm going to add a title that says to add steps to staging for narrative builder anytime we basically create an update. And here's the summary as well for that ticket. I also have the option to make this ticket my primary Jira issue for this incident, but I'm going to leave that unchecked for now. So let's click create. And as you can see, Jeli created that ticket here. Okay, so now let's take a look at our broadcast message here. So Jeli creates this broadcast message that updates in live time throughout your active incident to keep stakeholders informed, or for example, customer success managers who we might not want jumping in that incident channel. So you can see that the stage has been updated. That PagerDuty incident that we created was linked here, as well as a link to Jeli's incident view. You can see who was involved. We've also updated those Jira tickets, and here's the one that we created here, and here's the latest status update. If I want to get a little bit more granular and see what's going on with the incident and get a play-by-play, I can click on the threaded replies, which opens up this window, and you can see all of the actions that have been taken throughout the incident. You can also have users click on the more actions menu here, and they can then turn on notifications for replies if they choose to, as well to stay up to date on that. So now that we've gone through what a broadcast channel is, let's look at our incident channel again and close that out. So if I click on join incident channel, I can then use /Jeli close to do that. So let's say that my incident has kind of run its course, we've rolled out a fix, and we want to make sure that everything is good to go before we officially close out our incident channel. You would use this mitigate incident option. So you can also choose to mitigate an incident by using /Jeli stage and choosing the mitigated stage. But I'm going to use this option here by clicking this button. So yes, I'd like to mitigate because maybe I rolled out that fix and don't want to quite close that channel. So you can fill out these options here, such as what's the reason for the stage change, update those broadcast channels, and then you have the opportunity to create an opportunity from this incident. This will then import all the Slack channel data right up until this point for you automatically. So why don't we go ahead and do that and click update stage. And then Jeli also gives you the opportunity to add opportunity owners as well, which will then lock down that opportunity to specific people. But for now, I want to keep it as everyone in Jeli. So let's click import. And Jeli will then create that opportunity on the back end. As you can see here, it also prompted me to address those follow-ups that we created earlier. You can schedule a reminder or mark it as done. For now, I'm going to mark it as done. So let's say everything is all fixed and we are in the clear. So if we create any messages after the incident channel has been mitigated, Jeli will import everything that occurs after that as well when you run /Jeli close. So if we officially close out this incident, you can see that Jeli will then also update that here as well. So you have the option to update the severity. Let's drop it back down to low because things got fixed. And I'm going to click submit. And Jeli will update this link that was created from the mitigated stage as well. And here's that updated link. And then you have the opportunity as well to archive an incident channel now or schedule it for later. I can schedule this to be archived maybe at 6 p.m. We're going to give it a couple minutes as well before we want that channel to close out. So let's schedule that. So Jeli has now closed out the incident and will be archiving the channel at 6 p.m. Now that we've completed that, let's go back to our broadcast message. And I want to show you one more awesome thing about Jeli. So Jeli has this view called Incident View. If we click that, it will take us to Jeli's incident view page. And this is what we like to call sort of like an internal status page for your organization. As I mentioned earlier, stakeholders can view this page as well without having to jump into Slack. It provides a breakdown of what that overview message has as well. So you can see the latest status update, a summary of that incident, the current stage, the incident type, severity, and the duration. And then all of the messages that pertain to the actions taken by the IR bot will appear here, such as stage, severity, summary, status updates. You can also view who was involved in the incident by clicking on channel numbers. And then in this right-hand panel, you can see all the channels associated with that incident that you broadcasted to and a link to that incident channel. You can see who played a key role and any links that were helpful for being a part of that incident. So the next piece of this training will be to jump into Jeli for Jeli's opportunity component and using our narrative builder. I encourage you to watch our Jeli incident analysis training to dive in further. Thanks so much.